Alright, what is good, y'all? Welcome back to Appreciate Greatness. This is the first ever video I'm recording in the dorm room. My roommate is out of the room right now, so I'm going to record. I'm going to use this chance. Trade deadline video. This is always a really fun video. I'm recapping it. We're just going to go through every single move. I'm probably going to grade some. The ones that don't matter, like this first one, I'm not going to grade. We're just going to move past it. So KJ Martin and 2 seconds. Traded from the Sixers to the Pistons. Sixers get back cash. Just trying to make ends meet with the salary cap with the first, second apron. They probably want to be on players on the buyout market, and that's why they made this move. Next, the Wizards trade Jarrett Butler in 4 seconds, 2 in 2030, 2027, and 2028 for Reggie Jackson and a first next year. This is a big trade for the Washington Wizards. They were absolutely awesome all trade deadline. Will Dawkins put on a masterclass, and it led to the Wizards really fleecing some teams, really just putting together a beautiful trade deadline, which we'll continue to get into. I'm not going to grade this trade. I don't think it's too important. Celtics trade Jaden Springer to the Rockets. I love this move for the Rockets. I think you're getting a really good, young, up-and-coming wing who can be a good role player in the NBA. I think he's shown some flashes this year specifically of him being a solid player, a reliable player. The Celtics get a 2031 second, and the Rockets get 2 seconds and Jaden Springer. Again, kind of a cash dump. The Celtics want to be players on the buyout market. I think they signed Royce O'Neal, I believe, or Torrey Craig, excuse me, I think. So that's what they did that for. The next trade, we have the Kings getting Jonas Valanciunas from the Wizards. Makes no sense to me what the Kings are doing. You're not getting like a defensive-minded center, not a rim runner, not a lob threat to play beside Demonis. You're getting basically Demonis but worse, and he can't pass. So really questionable trade, and here the Wizards again, another great trade. They get a young guy in Sidy Cissoko, who's a guy I loved coming out of the draft. If you go back and watch my favorite players in the draft video, he was in it. I love him. I think he's got a great body type. He's a great defender. He's a dog, man. He's a dog. And then, of course, you get the 2 future seconds. Those could be anything. We see second round picks turn into great players. One today got a contract extension. Well, I guess not extension, but a real contract, AJ Mitchell, and he's been hurt for a while. In the next trade, we got Daniel Tice to OKC. This was literally just a cash dump. The Pels wanted to get under I believe the salary cap, the luxury tax, and they did that. And so the Thunder get another future second, a 2031 second, and Daniel Tice, which they cut to make room for AJ Mitchell, who the aforementioned AJ Mitchell. Next, this is the first one we're going to grade. The Mavs land Caleb Martin from the 76ers. They gave up Quentin Grimes in a 2025 second. So this year's second, which is probably going to be around in the 40s probably, for Caleb Martin. Now, Caleb Martin, this trade didn't make a lot of sense. Quentin Grimes is on an expiring deal. The Mavs didn't want to pay him. And at the same time, Caleb Martin's a better all-around player than Quentin Grimes. Now, Grimes in his role is awesome, and you can probably try to develop him into like a secondary ball handler. But I just think that the Mavs wanted a guy who can help them win right now or next year, which is their window right now, is this year, next year. We'll talk about that here in a second when we get to the big trade. The next trade, though, is the Hornets swapping pick with the Thunder. It was a 2029 for a 2030 second round pick. Next, the first big one. The Spurs acquire De'Aaron Fox from the Kings. It's D. Fox, Jordan McLaughlin. To the Spurs, the Kings get Zach LaVine, Sidy Cissoko, a 2025 first, a 2027 first, a 2031 first, a 2025 second, a 2028 second, and a 2028 second. Now, in reality, this says 3 firsts. The Hornets pick will not convey. I think it turns into 2 seconds. So in reality, I think they got 5 seconds and 4 seconds and 2 firsts, I believe. Something like that. And then they obviously flipped Sidy Cissoko for Jonas Valanciunas. So it's an interesting deal. I like the draft capital you get, especially with getting Zach LaVine. I think you could probably flip him. Here's the thing. Obviously, Zach LaVine, his contract is not good, but he's a great player. He's an awesome player, and now the Kings have one of the most fun teams in the NBA. They played last night. They played really fun, and then the Magic just stormed on them. But you have Malik Monk, you have Zach LaVine, DeMar, Keegan Murray, Demonis. Like, that is a fun starting five, and so they're a team who can. I won't want to say make some noise because they can't defend a glass of water, but they're a fun offensive team who could maybe make some noise, maybe, just maybe. And then the Bulls, out of all this, get Zach Collins, Kevin Huerter, Trey Jones in their 2025 first. And I've seen a lot of people, go at AK, and he hasn't been a good GM, right? Karniashovas has not been what we thought he was going to be as their GM. However, this isn't a bad trade because you get your pick, you can now really just suck. You can now suck. And they weren't able to move Vooch, which there's some questions there. Like, how can you not just... The Warriors apparently offered at the trade deadline, like, around 2 p.m. Central Time is where I am, so 3 Eastern and, whatever time Western, I'd be 12. So, and apparently a deal fell through. And so I don't know what the asking price was. I don't know. So there's something weird there. I don't think AK's been a good GM. But for this move specifically, listen, you were going to have to attach Zach LaVine. You were going to have to attach draft capital to him to move him last year. Now you get your first back, which is a big first. That's a big deal, by the way. So now you can actually tank. Because if they had 10, they're cool, right? But now you can really tank. You get Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, Zach Collins. Nothing's really, they're not going to do anything. I think they have 6 point guards. None of them got moved. So I'm going to grade this for the Spurs. I haven't even talked about De'Aaron and Wemby. De'Aaron hasn't got as much rim pressure as he did early in his career. I think I would love to see him get downhill more and just get to the rim and attack the rim. But when he has that mid-range, it might not happen. But he's going to look like an extremely great point guard just because he has Wemby, right? It opens up the floor for Wemby so much more. He's not going to be seeing 8 million guys every time because you have to worry about De'Aaron. Even if he's not like the best spot-up shooter, he's still a good spot-up shooter, and if you close out, he's going by you because he's so fast. So for the Spurs, I'm going to give it an A. I don't think it's an A+ quite, especially with the Lakers trade. I don't think I can give it an A+. I don't think I can give those two trades a same grade. For the Kings, I also am going to give it a B+. I think this is a really good job. And then for the Bulls, I'll give it a B because, again, you would have had to attach a first on Zach LaVine last year. Maybe you didn't get what he's worth, but that contract attached with him, you're not getting much, right? You're not getting much. We still have quite a bit of trades here. The Lakers land Luka. So you have Luka, Maxi Kleber, Markieff Morris going to the Lakers. You have the Mavs getting AD and Max Christie in a 2029 first. Oh my gosh, it's so bad to look at, dude. And then the Jazz, who didn't do a single thing in this trade, got JHS, Jalen Hood-Schifino, in 2 seconds this year. Lakers obviously get an A+. You get Luka Doncic. This opens up your timeline so much, dude. Like, there were so many questions after LeBron. We have an old AD. What are we going to do? We're probably going to have to ship AD. Well, now you do ship AD, but you have a new timeline. Now you have a new timeline you're focusing on. And we haven't even talked about, I don't know where the Mark Williams trade is. I don't think it's in here for some reason. But I'll talk about the Mark Williams trade in a second. Neither is the DeAndre Hunter trade. I'm going to have to find an updated thing. But we're talking about the Mavs right now. Listen. You were questioning, I guess we're talking about the Lakers. They were questioning what their timeline was, what's going to happen, and now you have Luka Doncic, one of the top 3 players in the NBA. He's 25 years old. Like, this dude is going to be good for 10 more years. No matter which way you slice it, they have a new timeline to work off of now. And Maxi Kleber, Markieff Morris, who cares? A+ for the Lakers. The Mavericks, what are they doing? I have no idea. Trading away their future for some defense this year and next year. Anthony Davis is cool. Max Christie has had a heck of a game. All the games are going on right now. From what I've seen, he's had a really good game. His role is getting, expanded, and he's fitting into it well. Today he came off a little drag drag screen set by, I don't even know who was setting it, honestly. Attacked Porzingis, pulled it back, went back, floater. Beautiful shot. Not something we would have seen him do with the Lakers, so I love the growth out of him. It doesn't make up for the fact you gave up Luka, and you only got one first in the 2029 back. But so I'm giving it an F, really, for the Mavericks. I love AD. I love Max Christie. But it just doesn't come close to Luka and having 10 more years of being able to compete just with having Luka. And then the Jazz, I'm going to give the Jazz an A+. I love Jalen Hood-Schifino. They didn't trade anything. They got 2 seconds. I mean, Danny Ainge, just a magician with trades. The next one on this list, and then again, we're going to go find a new list. The Clippers trade PJ Tucker to the Jazz, who then went to the Heat, and now he's with the Raptors because he got traded for Davion Mitchell today. And this was Drew Eubanks, Patty Mills for Mo Bamba, PJ Tucker, and a 2030 second. Not much to say here, really. I'm going to go look for a new article. Okay, so I figured it out. So those trades were all the ones that are finalized. Here are the trades that happened pretty much today. This was a crazy one. The Wizards are getting Marcus Smart, Colby Jones, Alex Len, and a 2025 first via the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are getting 2 seconds, Marvin Bagley and Johnny Davis, and the Kings are getting Jake LaRavia. So the Kings gave up Colby Jones, Alex Len, and that's it for Jake LaRavia. Beautiful move, right? I'm giving the Kings a A- because I love Jake LaRavia. He's going to fit into the rotation somehow, some way. He better, Doug Christie. Better find a way to get him in that rotation because he's a great player. He's such a fun role player. For the Grizzlies, I'm giving this nowhere near, it's like a D. I don't understand it. You're giving up a first. You attach a first to Marcus Smart just to get rid of him. It's just bad. It's a bad trade for them. You only get Marvin Bagley and Johnny Davis back. And then for the Wizards, A+. You get Marcus Smart, who's going to be a project now that you can really try and get his worth up, like what the Thunder did without Horford. Colby Jones is a great young player. He was also I think he was in that same video City Sissoko was in, and they have both of them now. So that's exciting for me. And then you get the 2025 first, another first-round pick in a year of rebuilding and a great draft. This is a beautiful trade for the Wizards. A+, A+, A+. Will Dawkins is on one right now. Next trade, Bucks reportedly deal for Clippers Porter Jr. Kevin Porter Jr. straight up for Marion Beauchamp. Sure, Marion wasn't being developed the way they wanted him to be. Kevin Porter Jr. is not good, so I don't care. Next, we have the Pacers reportedly trade James Wiseman to the Raptors. I think it was literally just James Wiseman and cash. I think that's literally what happened. I don't even think the Pacers got anything back. They just traded him. Get well soon, James Wiseman. He was hooping in that one game, and then he got hurt. I think it was the first game of the season this year, which is so sad. I don't know. Maybe they did send something out, but again, this same deal. Hawks deal Zeller to the Rockets. It's Cody Zeller in a second. The Rockets got Cody Zeller in a second. So that's it. That's all that's being shown. The Pistons get Dennis Schroeder. The Jazz get KJ Martin, Josh Richardson, and a 2028 second. Josh Richardson could still be a good player. I have not watched a minute. I don't know if he's played this year. KJ Martin, sure, in a second, sure. The Jazz didn't really do anything. Got a second. I like it. And then for the Pistons, I like this move. Get another ball handler, guy who can come off the bench and can play his game on this team. I really like that. The next trade, we get Bojan Bogdanovic to the Hawks, or to the Clippers, and the Hawks get Terrence Mann, Bones Highland, in 3 seconds. I love it. I love it. Why not, right? Try and get a guy. He struggled this year, but you can get a guy who can come off your bench and kind of fill it up, and that replaced Kevin Porter Jr. And the Hawks, I don't know I think the Hawks are rebuilding right now. I think that's what they're going for, but they still have Trae Young, who's going to win you some games. Obviously 3 seconds is cool, but this next trade, they trade DeAndre Hunter, who was really showing promise. This is an A+ for the Cavs, by the way. Really showing promise this year, really playing outstanding basketball. And they trade him for Karis LeVert, Georges Niang, 3 seconds, and 2 pick swaps. What a trade for the Cavs, you know? DeAndre Hunter is averaging like 20 points a game on like 46% from the field. Like, he's playing really well. I think he's shooting 40% from 3, maybe 42. Last time I checked, I think he was up near 42. So DeAndre Hunter, awesome player. Great fit. He's a big wing. That's what the Cavs needed. If you watched that Celtics game last night, just got manhandled by Jason Tatum. Like, post up, post up, post up, post up, post up. Now you have a big wing to defend that. It's beautiful. You have DeAndre Hunter. You have Isaac Okoro. You still have Max Strus. Like, you still got guys too. And all you traded is Georges Niang and Karis LeVert. So I love it. Karis LeVert, not the scorer off the bench that he had been. And realistically, you can still keep DeAndre Hunter. He's been so great off the bench this year. You can still keep him off the bench if you'd like, because you have Ice Pick Isaac. Next trade, Hornets get Jusuf Nurkic and next year's first from the Suns. Unprotected. Crazy trade for Cody Martin. He played on my favorite team. I still don't know how to say his first name. Vasi? I'd call him Vasi. Vasi Micic and a 2026 second. It's a win for the Hornets. It's an A for the Hornets. I mean, you're not giving up really anything. You're giving up Cody Martin, who's cool, but you're getting a 2026 first for him, and you're taking on Jusuf Nurkic's god-awful contract. If you're the Suns, it just sucks. Cody Martin's cool, but guy sucks. This one, the PJ Tucker for Davion Mitchell, we spoke about. Already talked about Reggie Jackson, Jared Butler. Lakers get an A. Hornets get an A. I think this is the most win-win trade of the trade deadline. Lakers get Mark Williams. Hornets get Dalton Knecht, Cam Reddish, a 2031 unprotected, and a 2030 pick swap. I talked about this trade in a TikTok, but Mark Williams has a 9'8", 9'9" standing reach, a 7'8" wingspan. He dunks everything. He's perfect alongside Luka. You got to get his motor going, defensively especially. But he can block shots with that wingspan and that standing reach. He can just stand there and block shots. So with Luka, with LeBron, he's going to look a lot better. And once he just keeps that motor going, he's going to look fantastic. And then the Hornets, they get Dalton Knecht, who is older than Mark Williams, but he's still shown some promise. It's still his first year. He's going to be a really good role player in the NBA. Maybe a one-time All-Star. Maybe. That's his ceiling. Cam Reddish, who cares? And then that 2031 first and the 2030 pick swap. Here's the thing about those two picks. You just don't know, right? Especially this deadline, I think, shows you more than ever that star players are asking out. Star players want out. Star players are getting moved. You don't know what's going to happen with Luka in 6 years. He might be unhappy. He might get shipped off. Now the Lakers suck. Oh, we have your 2031, right? So it's just that kind of thing. Like, Luka's going to be 31. He could go down with an injury. Pray to God he doesn't, right? But he could. It's always a possibility, and they could suck that year. The Steph Curry in 2021 thing, where the Warriors just kind of sucked because Steph got hurt and everyone was hurt, and they sucked and got James Wiseman, and that didn't work out well. But for the Hornets, it could, right? So I love this. Here's one. Listen, for what the Raptors got, for the value the Raptors got in Brandon Ingram, I'm giving them a B. But I don't understand it, right? Masai has a very weird obsession with lanky players. And Brandon Ingram is as lanky as they come. You only gave up Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, and a first in a second. So I give him a B. The Pels just being able to move on from BI, getting a first for BI in a second. I'll give them a B+. I think they did a little better than the Raptors. I don't know where the Raptors are going with what they're doing. Don't get me wrong, though. BI, hell of a player, right? You got Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, BI, Scotty Barnes, Jakob Poeltl. It's a play-in team, It's a play-in team. The Warriors, Jimmy Butler trade. I made a TikTok over this. I was just tired of my TikTok was probably really uninteresting because Jimmy sucks. Like, it sucks what he did. No, Jimmy's a great player, but it sucks. Just because he held out, we've gone through this with him, right? So many times. I love Jimmy. I love Jimmy to death. Him in that bubble, it really just like put it on a pedestal. But, you know, I don't think it ever gives you the right to act out the way he has. He's a Warrior now. I like the idea of him cutting, him playmaking. He's still a good defender in his late age. And the Heat, I think the only guy they've kept from this trade is Andrew Wiggins, and then the protected first, which I'm assuming, I still don't know how protected it is. I haven't looked, but I'm assuming it's heavily protected. But Andrew Wiggins' defense, Bam's defense, and who else do they have? Kel'el Ware? Dude, okay. You're starting Tyler Hero, whoever, I can't think of it right now. Andrew Wiggins, Bam, Kel'el Ware. Tyler Hero with that defense behind him, it's going to be unreal. And then the Pistons out of all of this chaos, get Lindy Waters, who, young guy who can really shoot the ball, can spread the floor a little bit for Cade. He's going to play some. I like it. Talked about this one. The Kuz trade. This is the last one we have. Kyle Kuzma to the Bucks. Listen, I know Bucks fans. I'm good friends with a Buck fan, right? He was so sad to see Chris Middleton go, but it was time. It was time. Chris is a great player. He was a great player. Not anymore. Kyle Kuzma with a smaller role. You know, you kind of encase him and his talent into this confined role. He's going to be a great player. He's a perfect role player at the 4, in my opinion. You also get Jericho Sims somehow. I actually didn't know they got Jericho Sims. Another guy I think I said I loved. I just loved the fact that he can dunk. That's it. He can really dunk. And then they get a 2025 second. And the Wizards got Chris Middleton. Win. AJ Johnson. Win. AJ Johnson had a really great game against the Thunder. Showed some promise. And then a 2028 pick swap. Listen, if there's any winner of this trade deadline, it's the Washington Wizards. And the Lakers, obviously. But other than the Lakers, it's the Washington Wizards. I mean, Will Dawkins did his thing. He did his thing. And then the Knicks got DeLon Wright and Cash. For the Bucks, I'm going to grade this a B+. For the Wizards, I'm going to grade this an A+. And for the Knicks, I'm going to grade this an A+. Because DeLon Wright is 2K GOAT. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe. The reason I make videos is just to put it out there, put content out there that someone can watch if they're having a tough day, and just forget about things for about 23 minutes. So I hope y'all enjoyed. Again, if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Share with a friend. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers by my birthday, June 20th. That's our goal. 100 subscribers by June 20th. Let's hit it. I love y'all. Whoever stayed and watched. I'll see y'all. Peace.